So these are some of the original piston rings designs as far as boxing goes. Back in the mid 90s, we implemented this. Basically, the rings would come individually packaged in bottom groove, and then the other box would hold top and second groove. And then the outside boxes also, the outside of the boxes also gave instructions on how to install your rings, and as far as the markings and how to identify the different types of rings. It was a very good package design for us because it protected the rings from shipping damage. However, a lot of people started to complain that the larger rings were being crushed in these because we just didn't have space for them. So basically, a few years later, we went to a larger design. This was about the time that Enginetech was sponsoring the IROC, the International Race of Champions, with some of the parts and the motors. What we did here is we went to the same design more or less, but in a larger box, still dividing the rings into different components, lower in one box and then first and second compression rings in the second. This was better because it allowed us to put larger rings in the sets and not have to worry so much about damage. Now, one thing that we were getting complaints about from our customers was that this created a lot of waste. That they had all this cardboard they had to dispose of. So some of our larger PER, production engine rebuilding customers, asked if there was something we could do to eliminate some of the waste. So in the early 2000s, we went to this design. And this design is basically, as you can see, a one box. There is no more of the rings being boxed individually. They all went into one component here. However, we started adding notes to the flaps here when you open the box. You show your top groove, your second groove, and your bottom groove rings all being separated out. This was a really good design. This was one of our favorites. It fit really well in a lot of the shipping boxes. Our customers enjoyed it. There was, however, one distinct disadvantage to this, and that was people tended to open the box and to dump the rings out on their workbench, and then they couldn't realize or figure out, which ring was which. So it was causing problems. Or people would open it at the bottom and the bottom flaps weren't marked. So eventually, in just the last few years, we went to the new design, in which it's smaller, it's more compact, and the best part about it, as you can see, is that the rings are all individually bagged and they're marked first, second, and third groove. So this kept the rings from falling out of the box if they dropped it open. This also identified the rings individually to make installation easier. And for our warehouses and for our larger customers, the smaller box made it easier to get more rings and more boxes on their shelves while not having to increase their shelf space.